to the violence on election day in Techiman South constituency, leading to the death of 2 persons and several others who were left injured.
The police started the warning shots, then the military also complied. So some of the guns were pointed upwards and some too were, through the crowd.
Well, details of that later. Also, tonight, the Electoral Commission considers initiating processes for the creation of Guan constituency at the start of the 8th Parliament following concerns about the disenfranchisement of voters there. We have details for you.
Of course, in business, consumers of petroleum products should expect another increase from next month based on market projections.
Later in sports, General Secretary of the Sports Writers Association of Ghana, Charles Osesibe, charges Martha Bisa to work on getting a career back on track in the wake of a dispute with the Ghana Athletics Association.
And later, health workers and persons with underlying health conditions to be the first group of people to be vaccinated against COVID-19.
The health workers are the first line because they are almost always exposed to the virus. So that would be the first line. Then they are going to look at the persons with underlying morbidities.
Well, details as the Ghana Health Service is set to take delivery of 6 million COVID-19 vaccines by the first quarter of 2021. Stay with us for this. And later, what's Christmas without joy?
It's an occasion to bring the whole Joy community together to just ignite the spirit of Christmas. And we just hope that everybody has a joyous Christmas.
The Superstation Joy 99.7 FM presents the Joy 9 lessons and carols tonight with a special lineup tailored just for you. You should see the studios right now. It's been prepped up for this. A taste of that later. My name is Evans Mensah. Send me your thoughts. 055 1111 997. And this is still your election headquarters in association with Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity, Cowbell Coffee, taste it, love it, Magdan Shipping and Logistics Limited, your total logistics partner, Pad Ever Limited, your home of modding furniture, DDP Outdoor Limited, serving great brands, Festival, adding flavors to your life, and with 3-year lotteries, it's just star 787 hash, Ghana's premier and biggest jackpot lottery, and HEPA Plus mixture for your general well-being. We start your election headquarters tonight from the Parliament, where the Minority Leader in Parliament, Haruna Idrisu, has served notice his side of the House will boycott the inauguration of President Akufo-Addo on January 7 if his demands are not met. The President is due to be sworn in on that day before the MPs in Parliament. But the minorities is making a case for recollation of the parliamentary results in Techiman South, which it says it won. Mr. Idrisu tells Joy News the declaration of the seat in favor of the MPPs Martin J. Mensah is fraudulent and they will not allow it to stand.
NDC won. He's been robbed of that mandate and would make it conditional even to the swearing in which will take place on the 7th, because that one gives us that parliamentary majority that we need. So we are standing in denial by a collusion of fraud by the Electoral Commission and the New Patriotic Party. It is not acceptable. You know, they're just joking with Techiman South, added to their number, claim a false 137 that they don't deserve. They are 136. And we are saying that openly, do it openly, transparently. And in any case, why is the media not challenging the EC to do what is legally appropriate? So where is your resource? So you think that you want a Ghana tomorrow where results are declared for a parliamentary constituency, candidates that don't have access to the results, political parties don't have access to the results, and you people think is right? It will be right tomorrow. It will be right tomorrow. prepare for a Ghana tomorrow where anybody can sit in his house and say that I've declared results, I've won.
So, just to be clear, you wouldn't be part of the inauguration of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo if they go ahead with it once the issue of Techiman South is not clarified?
Yes. If Techiman South is not resolved amicably and satisfactorily in accordance with the laws of Ghana, and in particular with Regulation 43 of CI 127,
and declared for the
more emphatically, collation done openly and transparently by EC, and we remain in denial that we don't have the results for Techiman South, we would be thinking through what to do on the 7th.
Which would include not participating in the
you
inauguration
don't determine what we do.
You referenced that earlier.
Yes.
You referenced that earlier, that it's one of the conditions that you were asking for.
We want the Techiman South resolved before 7th January, by all means possible. I've heard people say that go to court, go to court.
Which is the point that's come repeatedly, because the EC, the EC in putting out the details of positions in Parliament and who has won how many seats, they've added Techiman South and given it to the NPP.
The same EC. What is their basis for adding Techiman South when I have no basis to receive a result so declared by them? Where is the result? Yes.
If within that 21-day period you still don't have the declared result from the EC, you would let the situation go and allow that window to then slide?
No, you get it. When you have a declaration and you give me a copy of that declaration, certified, legal, legitimate, and I'm not satisfied, then you can encourage me to go to court. In this particular matter, we simply don't have the results. And we cannot even demand the results from the Electoral Commission of Ghana, which is governed by law. This is embarrassing and legally untenable.
Well, we're hearing tonight from the Techiman South NDC parliamentary candidate himself, Christopher Bagre. He says the NDC won the seat by more than 700 votes. He says a simple recollation will reveal the NDC indeed won it. He says, notice there will be more protests in the area unless the recollation happens. We'll hear from him shortly.
Why is it that they are insisting they will not do coalition or recoalition? Like the leader of the House said, initially they did for Banda more than 2-3 times. Techiman alone, you insisting no. What is the secret? And in any case, we are entitled to recoalition if they've done coalition. It is just a matter of simple distance, which we expect the whole world stakeholders, Peace Council, Christian Council, to note that this is something that has just started small. And we expect that if they don't come in, something bad could happen in Techiman. It's not a trend, but that's the reality.
I'm interested in that. So then, what could happen if these demands are not...
As we speak now, there's a demonstration in Techiman, isn't it? Yes, and that will not end. I mean, we're not going to allow the fact that you don't do coalition and then you bring in military to kill our people after burying the deaf. You still insist that you are going to take power by force. This is not a military regime. How many MPP people died of that? So we insist that the right thing be done, and we'll fight it till the latter end. Why I'm fighting this is for 2 reasons. Now, the first one is that if we do not fight this time, next time somebody will get up and then use the same military system to take power. That is the first one. The second one is the fact that people came around to witness transparent, free and fair election, only for them to lose their life. The only way we can honor them is to fight and ensure that there's a transparent, free and fair election, which they wish. And that is the reason why they came there, and that is why we'll still fight. These are the 2 key reasons. It is not because of their position.
So that what's your expectation of your colleague who is the MPP candidate and the MPP as a party, as far as this is concerned?
I mean, to do the honorable, to ensure that there's a free and fair election. If he believes he has won, let the Electoral Commission come and have a transparent collation of the results. To do the honorable, honor the dead, believe in democracy, know that you cannot kill people and take power. The pen is mightier than the sword. We'll fight it till the last end.
Thankfully, Mr. Bayer himself joins us on the telephone line. Ryan, Mr. Bayer, thank you for your time here on Newsnight.
Thank you very much,
do
brother.
you
and greetings to
yes.
all the listeners.
Great. Do you have your pink sheets from all the polling centers in Setiman South?
My brother, we have all the 267 pink sheets ready.
And when you put that together, you claim you won the elections?
Yes, I have convincingly won the elections over 2,000 votes.
Okay. So if you have all the pink sheets and if you tally you won the elections, why are you not in court with those pink sheets as your primary evidence?
No, but if you look at CI 127, it stipulates the procedures and rules for collation and declaration of results. In our case, there was no collation. There was only declaration. And that is what they even claim. We never even saw any declaration. So it's just like trying to force somebody to rob the person. When we talk about collation, it's about all the parties sitting together, comparing their pink sheets, whilst the Electoral Commission becomes the referee. In Techiman South, that never happened. So for us, we have not done collation, and therefore there cannot be declaration. So we cannot just rush to go to the court. In any case, what are we taking to the court? We were not given any summary sheet. They claim they have done declaration. Where is the results? What are we taking to court? So we are seeking collation of the results. In any case, if they have done collation, we want a recollation.
Okay.
But we insist that there was no collation. There were other media houses there. We can give you evidence of some of the people. You can call them and find out if, while they sat out throughout, if there was any collation at the collation center.
Okay. So there was no collation, you allege. Have you written formally to the Electoral Commission on this?
I would forward to you letters, series of letters we've written to the Electoral Commission. And we have visited them to even submit the letter. They have run away. At a point in time, after submitting the first letter for collation, the second one, they ran away. We had to send it by courier, which I will send you evidence of all those letters. The first letter, second letter, third letter, which we have to also send by courier. It is a deliberate attempt for them to frustrate us. Meanwhile, we all believe in the principles of democracy. If we talk about free and fair election, it is about all the parties sitting down. It's not only for Techima, even for areas like Banda, when they have done the collation and declaration, they still went ahead to do recollation again. It was done in Banda. So why in Techima there was no collation? Let us do it, you are saying no. Let's do recollation, you say no.
So in your formal letters to the EC, did they reply to you at all?
For the letters we have written to EC, there was one, the regional director, which I'll forward it to you. There was one, the regional director was saying that he cannot change the results, listen attentively, or nullify the results. But in this case, we are not asking him to change the results. We want.
So he said this to you in his formal reply?
That is what meanwhile, we never even, our response to him was that we wanted him to do a collation since there was no collation.
And he said to you in his formal reply that.
He said in a formal reply that he cannot change the results and cannot nullify the results.
Okay,
you haven't collated. How do you then do declaration?
My attention has been drawn to a video in which the returning officer was declaring the results, and the table was pushed and the thing turned chaotic. Have you seen that video?
Let me explain to you. That wasn't a declaration. Now, we came with 5 polling stations having problems, which the electoral officer said, let us resolve those 5 polling stations. After resolving the 5 polling stations, then we can sit down and do the collation for all the 267. Then we agreed. So when we started with the 5 polling stations where there were problems, after agreeing on only the 5 polling stations, he got up with a piece of paper. Look at the video. If that is a summary sheet, you tell me in the video. He got up to announce the results. And I said, what are you trying to do? We haven't done any collation. You said we should settle on the 5 polling stations where there were problems. And after the 5 polling stations, you've gotten up to pull a piece of paper, A4 sheet, to write something on it to come and then announce. It wasn't a declaration. So I said, no, let us do a coalition or else we will not agree. So that is the problem, the video that you are seeing.
Okay, but where we stand right now, the Electoral Commission has already certified those results as far as we are concerned from Greater Accra, and has gazetted even the results. So protests, it appears to me, will not resolve your problem.
My brother, have you checked? They have gazetted for the presidential, not parliamentary. You get me? Now, in any case, let's assume that you are saying we should go to court. What are we taking to court? You haven't given us any summary sheet. You understand? You haven't told, there's no even any documentation to show that you have done a declaration. What are we taking to court? That is one, my brother. Number two, it is a simple matter of trying to save all of us, giving peace to the community of Techima, and letting transparency and free and fair election prevail by going through all the pinches, letting us sit down. It is as simple as that.
Okay.
Why all this?
Let's get some specifics. You say you have all the pinches, and when you add it, you win by 700 votes. Give me specifics. How many votes exactly did your pink sheets add up to?
Unless we have, but I can't give you the exact specific. But if you give me 10 minutes of just some 2 minutes, I can quickly look at it for you.
Okay, because this you are willing to protest about this, and this is a number that should stick in your head. I'm surprised that you don't have it offhand. Okay, let's do that. We'll get the clarity on this. I'll tell you also what the EC says on this whilst we do this. But emerging eyewitness accounts and video records reveal live ammunitions were in fact fired into the crowd in the Techiman South shooting, which killed 2 people. Now, videos available to Joe News show some military and police personnel firing directly into the crowd in the December 8 incident. Now, some eyewitnesses give horrifying accounts of how the joy of observing the collation of electoral results turned into a mass shooting. Now, LabFM's Erastus Asaridonko spent days in the Techiman South constituency speaking to eyewitnesses and collecting videos of the incident, and has filed the following report.
Most parts of the Techiman South constituency were calm and peaceful on voting day. After polling station results had been declared, all roads led to this place, where the collation of results took place under the strict eye of the public.
This is the Bono Champion Hall in the Techiman South constituency. This is where collation of electoral results happen.
Throughout the night, supporters of both NDC and NPP kept vigil, observing collation of results. But the collation night will soon turn chaotic. Security agents fired warning shots to maintain calm as supporters of both parties fought and destroyed ballot boxes containing results from some polling stations. Alaji is an election observer.
Late hour, somewhere around 11:30 going to 12, there was an allegation that some boxes were coming. And some team youth were here protesting that those boxes shouldn't go into the collation center. So all of a sudden, there was a struggle. Others were like the boxes would come in, others were like the boxes would not come
between
in.
The NPP and NDC.
Between the NPP and the
supporters
NDC.
Who are outside.
Supporters who were outside. So there was a struggle, there was a fight, and there was even a gunshot that night.
Fired by who?
By the police, just to scare the supporters. So at the end, they fought and broke those boxes.
The ballot boxes?
Those ballot boxes. The papers were flying away everywhere.
December 8, 2020, a day after voting, was pregnant with expectations. Supporters of the NDC and NPP gathered outside the collation center in anticipation of who won.
The NDC supporters, their team inside the collation center was saying that they were not satisfied with those boxes or the results in those boxes. So it was like an argument back and forth until later in the evening when those results were added. NPP had 49,682, the parliamentary candidate. And the NDC parliamentary candidate had 49,205. And so immediately they shoot it out, the jubilation started. So the teaming youth of the NDC who were also standing here were angry. How comes? Because they know that they were trying to force in to the hall.
So they were here?
They were on the left here.
They were standing here?
Yes.
In their numbers?
In their numbers.
And they wanted to force their way into this hall?
Into the hall. And the MPP supporters too were also on the right. But the military and the police, they were in the middle, trying to protect the crowd not to move in.
Some accounts say party supporters started pelting stones at the security personnel. Others also say the supporters were forcing their way into the collation hall. But what happened next will remain a black day in the political history of Techiman South. This video shows protest from the crowd. Then the shooting starts. A journalist who witnessed the shooting from the front of the collation center gave this narration.
The police started the warning shots, then the military also complied. So some of the guns were pointed upwards and some were, through the crowd. I saw one guy lying down here. Blood was oozing from the nose and the eyes. At that time, he was breathing very slowly. So in about our time that we understood there were many, supporters being victimized through gunshots.
A closer and critical look at this video, which marked the beginning of the firing of warning shots, showed the crowd retreating. Whilst many of the personnel are seen firing into the air, this officer in seeming police-colored uniform is seen aiming at the crowd. Another amateur video captures the fleeting moment when shots were fired into the crowd and the moment when some supporters were seen lying motionless on the ground. We tried to slow the video to pay attention to detail. Here, it reveals many of the security personnel firing their guns into the air. But this military officer fires directly into the crowd. The originator of the video is heard saying some are dead and then laughs as the video ends. At this point, the crowd is stunned. Some are seen carrying the injured to safety. This woman seen here in the video helping lift a fallen supporter describes that moment.
No.
18-year-old Abdullah Ayarik, an apprentice in the street lighting business, and Mohammed Tajuddin, 41, a father of 4, were killed. 9 others sustained various degrees of injuries. Reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaredonko, Kumasi.
Well, the Police Criminal Investigations Department says it is still conducting investigations into the shooting that led to the death of at least 2 people in the Techiman South Collation Center incident. Well, I still have with me on the telephone line the NDC parliamentary candidate for Techiman South, Christopher Bayre. I've asked him to give me, he claims he's won it and he has all his pink sheets. I've asked him to tell us exactly how many votes he secured. He asked me to give him 2 minutes to tell us that. Hopefully he's on the line and has found the number now. Mr. Bayre, thank you for your time. Thank you for staying on.
Thank you very much, my brother. Before
Yes.
I come to the figures, you see, our argument is as simple as that. The Electoral Commission...
Mr. Bayre, if you may, we've spoken extensively about your issues. I just asked you a simple question. How many votes exactly did you...
For the NDC, we had 50,420. And the MPP had 49,825.
You have 50,000.
420.
420. That is according to your pink sheets.
Yes.
And you say the MPP has
49,825.
49,800 and what?
25.
Now that NPP figure, if you work with it and match it against the EC's figure as we have it, the MPP secured 49,682. So even in your figure that you have on your pink sheets, the MPP votes increases.
So we have the pink sheets. It is as simple as that. We believe in free and fair elections. Let us sit down in a transparent manner. All the media houses should be there, like in the Senate case. Let everybody bring his pink sheets. That is all that we are asking for, so that we know whether the elections was free and fair, whether it was won on a genuine basis. And we know clearly that from the pink sheets, we have won the election.
So you want this done, but you don't want the court order to force the EC to do it. You can get an order of mandamus from a court that will force the EC to
no,
do
why would you, when there was no collation, when you don't have even...
No, I'm saying you're not going to court to challenge the outcome. You're going to court to get an order to force the EC to do the recollation, because you say they're obliged.
Yes, they are obliged, so we are not going to the court for now.
That's what I'm pointing. You can go to court to... So if the EC says they won't recollate, there's nothing else you do, right?
No,
but you can go to court to get a court order.
No, the EC, we are entitled to that. Even in Banda, they did that in Banda.
Yeah. I mean, so
they did a collation, did a declaration,
what you said,
and then did a recollation again.
What you're saying is precedent, right? That's what the lawyer
exactly.
said. So why don't you go to court and lay that precedent?
Banda didn't go to court. So we are not. Banda didn't go to court.
So you also
so why what is the difference?
So if the EC so if the EC says they will not recollect, then what happens to you?
What is the EC hiding? They would have to do it because
so
it's right. So we are entitled to it.
Good.
They have done it. There's a precedent. They have done it for others, and they are supposed to do it for us.
In spite of everything you said, if the EC still says, "Yeah, I've heard you," but I still won't do it.
Why would they? I mean, the whole world is watching. Equity. He who seek for equity must come with a clean heart. If you have done some for others, the same must be done in Kichima. In any case, if we still claim that there was no collation, do it if you think that you are doing a free and fair, genuine election that you want it to be transparent. So we will insist on the right thing to be done.
Okay, so
we will not insist on the wrong thing.
And insisting on the right thing is what? Writing protest letters and hitting the streets. That's it? Is that the...
No, it's not only about that. We will make sure that we will get back to the EC and insist that the right thing is done.
How?
From today, you saw that we did a peaceful demonstration. We'll continue to do a peaceful demonstration. We'll continue to insist to exhaust all the...
I'm sorry, Mr. Bayer, but peaceful demonstrations, petitions, they don't change anything legally.
No, that will tell the whole world, to let them know.
But if the whole world knows that the EC allegedly is being unfair, it still doesn't change the outcome, does it?
No, but the point is that the whole world will see before we take another step.
Okay,
if that doesn't work, we'll take another decision.
Okay.
But it's for everybody to know that if the EC thinks that he's doing a free and fair election in Techma, it's not right. It's not doing the right thing.
So now you've told us the outcome of your own collation from the polling centers. So will you put the pink sheets out so the world will know that the evidence you have shows that you have 50,420? Because
that is why I'm telling you that for now, we would assess this state, then we'll look at the leadership of the party. What they say is what we'll do.
Thank you, sir. That's Christopher Bayere. He is the Techiman South NDC parliamentary candidate there. I want to bring him our regional correspondent, Anas Sabit, who, of course, monitor the elections for us. Anas, thank you for your time. Do we know if there was a proper declaration, collation by the EC, and a declaration done for Techiman South?
Yes, Evans, there was declaration. It was right after the declaration that the unfortunate shooting incident that claimed 2 lives took place. The NDC may argue on the issue of collation. We may have issues with the collation because the collation delayed throughout the night, through the day, because there were issues they were resolving at a point. But if anyone tells you there was no declaration, that was not true. The video I sent captured the returning officer declaring the results and announcing the figures both candidates had before he said for the power invested in him as the returning officer, he declared the NPP candidate Martin Evans Mensah as the winner of the election. So there was declaration, and that was done in the midst of when the candidate, the NDC candidates, plus other regional executives of both parties were in the hall when the declaration took place.
Thank you, Adasabit, for that clarity. So listening to Newsnight here on Joy 99.7. I think you've heard all sides now. You've heard our independent investigation into the shooting incident and how it happened. And you've heard the interview with the candidate. And you've heard our reporter say there, in fact, was an unofficial declaration. And he has a video to back that. What do you say to that? Make up your own mind. Send me a WhatsApp, 0255 1111997. George is here with the latest from the world of business. Hello, George.
It's interesting. They always say to every issue there's the other side.
Multiple
of it as well.
sides, absolutely, yeah.
That you always want to weigh.
I mean, the beauty of this, and that's what we do on election coaches, is that we tell you what our independent investigations have done. Our colleague in Labafam, right, spent days there investigating the incident, the shooting incident. He's brought us that. We've had it. And of course, our reporter too has come with independent verification of whether there was a declaration or not. It says collation, yes, NDC could have an issue, but there was a declaration. It has a video to back that. But you've heard the NDC side to this as well. The thing is, we want to arm you so that you make a decision.
I mean, not to because I'm a party in this or we are all a party in this, but we know the kind of work we put into these elections.
Yeah.
What will we gain in trying to do anybody's bidding, Evans?
Yeah, I mean, what do you have in the headlines?
Well, Evans, coming up, before we even settle on the recent increment in prices of petroleum products, there are projections that it's going to go up again from next month. We'll be hearing from the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers on what government should do to help minimize this on consumers. We'll also hear from a transport consultant on dealing with the traffic situation in Accra. If you've been driving in town over the weekend and even this week, it has really been terrible. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one-stop shop for all your office essentials. And First National Bank, we are the bank that understands your business. First National Bank, how can we help you?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, don't worry, Grandpa. There are still 5 ripe and 15 unripe mangoes on the tree.
That's my boy.
Grandpa, it's still 1.2 kilograms of rice in the container.
My boy. And how much credit did I spend last week?
Well, you spent 5 CDs on calls, 2 megabytes on data, and you sent 5 SMSs.
We are the first network that tells you exactly what you have spent and when you spent it. Dial *156# to access your statement on MTN. We are good together. We day for you everywhere you go.
Son, we are so proud of you for setting up this hospital. I really love those hospital beds and waiting chairs. By the way, did you import them?
No, Dad, I didn't. I actually got them from Kingdom Books and Stationery right here in Ghana.
Wow. We also bought our office supplies, safes, executive desks and chairs from Kingdom, and they gave us expert advice on how to set up our office.
Guys, that makes 3 of us. I also got our sofa and bedroom sets, plus our dining hall furniture for our new home from Kingdom.
Wow, Mom, that makes 4 of us. I usually get my stationery items from Kingdom, and my teacher also mentioned that our classroom furniture was provided by Kingdom.
So there you have it. Whenever you're thinking about setting up an office or acquiring furniture for your home, etc., Kingdom Books and Stationery should be your first point of call. With over 40 years experience in the industry, we stock and supply a wide variety of globally sourced office and home furniture, stationery and equipment. Visit our head office, Osu Akwaje, or our office near the Osu Stadium. We're also in Tema Community 1, opposite Olam SHS, Kumasi KNUST campus, UCC Cape Coast, and now at the Marina Mall, Airport City. Or call us 0302 764101, 764209, or 762792. Visit our website www.kingdomgh.com.
We know it's important to create a productive and supportive working environment by investing in your employees' health. With a leading international track record, Apex Health Insurance is regulated and licensed by the National Health Insurance Authority to provide medical insurance services to institutional clients, families, and individuals. Apex Student Package and International Medical Solutions are all here to cushion you. Visit Apex Health Insurance Office at Zion House, Boundary Road, Shiashi, or call
0501 683 914
or 0232 000 015. In Kumasi, we are located opposite Prempeh College, Sofo Line, and in Takrady, Apex Health, your preferred health insurer.
This December holidays, there are only two things involved. It's either you are happy or you are not. If you are happy, you are safe. But if you are not, there's only one thing involved. Join the Happy Gang to laugh, sing and dance as we celebrate the end of a tough year at the night of 1,027 laughs and music. Featuring comedy heavyweights Bobby, Oke Bakassi, Acapella, Obi Amponsa, Lexi the Comic, and Foster Romano. Also rocking the stage are Kiddy and Diana Hamilton. It will be a night of rip-cracking comedy and good live music in a socially distanced and exclusive layout. Limited tickets are on sale at 250 Ghana Cedis Premium and 400 Ghana Cedis VIP at Charterhouse and Nalem stores. For tables, call 0501 288 520. The night of 1,027 laughs and music. Boxing Day, 26th December, 8 p.m. Grand Arena at the Conference Center. Proudly brought to you by the Grand Arena and Charterhouse.
As always, Christmas starts at the tree. Time for family, community, and celebration. This year is no different. Look out for the Spa tree, where you'll find people dedicated to making Christmas extra special. At Spa, we know how important celebrating together is. That is why you will find all the food and low prices you need to treat your family to a great Christmas. Spa, the best Christmas starts at the tree. Be reminded though that City Gear Supermarket is becoming Spa. Spa, my market.
Welcome back to Business on Newsnight. Now, consumers of petroleum products may have to brace themselves for another increase at the pumps from next month. This is based on current market outlook and projections from the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers. The forecast is coming on the back of the 3 to 5% jump in prices of petroleum products just over the weekend. Executive Secretary of the Chamber, Duncan Amwa, says there is still something that government can do to manage the situation going forward.
That the figures we are also picking for January could not be any more friendly. And so whatever mitigating measures ought to be put in place should be put in place now so that we could forestall any further increases. We believe that at 4.85, it's okay. We shouldn't overburden Ghanaians any further. Again, a point must also be made that these increases that we have just recorded is largely as a result of international market price variations. And then again, the CD exchange to the dollar, the forex situation also contributing. We must stress that this is not really a function of taxes or taxation at this point. And so it cannot necessarily be a wish of government or government doing for fuel prices to go up at this point. Although admittedly, government could still have put in some of the taxes, but you look at the economic situation now, one may not advise government to also go in for the very same taxes that it is even struggling to collect.
Duncan Amwa is the Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers. Now, transport situation in the metropolis appears to be getting worse each and every day. As we get closer to the Christmas holidays, there are fears the development could impact on productivity badly. But how should we get around the situation? Earlier on, I engaged a transport consultant, Cecil Gabra.
Transport situation now is quite terrible. Leave your home and don't get to work at your usual 8 o'clock that work begins. It is all due to the issue of rush in Christmas, right? It looks like everybody is rushing to go to town to buy some few goods.
From the individual perspective, as well as maybe a worker,
what do you advise we should do or should be doing to help manage the situation?
For you as an individual, I think you just have to plan your trip, leave home quite early than usual. After all, it's only for 1 week. After this week, Christmas is over and traffic will be normal. It's a period for us to manage the situation for this well.
Cecil Gabra is a transport consultant. Now, the Bank of Ghana has released new guidelines for individuals and institutions that are licensed to trade and purchase government bonds. Now, this was contained in the new guidelines and requirement for these primary dealers as well as those who are participating in these government bonds. With the hope of the Bank of Ghana to streamline the operations of those who are participating in this market to ensure that there is some transparency and efficiency when it comes to the whole market going forward. And that's all for Business on Newsnight. Back to you, Evans.
George, thank you very much. So listening to Newsnight on Joy 99.7 FM. Later on, I'm going to be taking you to the Joy 9 lessons and carols tonight with a special lineup tailored just for you.
It's an occasion to bring the whole Joy community together to just ignite the spirit of Christmas. And we just hope that everybody has a joyous Christmas.
Tonight, it's on Joy 99.7 FM. Details of the 9 lessons and carols shortly. Now, Joy News is learning the Electoral Commission is considering initiating processes for the creation of Guan constituency at the start of the 8th Parliament. You may recall that a statement from the EC on the eve of election 2020 indicated that electorates within the Guan district will only vote in the presidential election pending the creation of the new constituency for them. Now, weeks after the decision must have imposed residents of the area mounting pressure on the Electoral Commission to immediately create a constituency to allow them have a representation in Parliament before the expiration of the 7th Parliament. But Joy News sources say that might not be possible. My colleague Chrissy Parker-Wilson has been doing some digging and joins me in the studio with more. What more have you gathered, Parker?
Right, so Evans, we are learning, of course, our sources at the Electoral Commission tells us that well, with this 7th Parliament, it may not be possible that they will create a new constituency for electorates within the Guan district. Now, the reason is simple, that if you lay a CI for amendment or for the creation of a new constituency, it has to go through 21-day period where it has to mature. And after the maturity period, that is when the parliamentarians will vote on it and create the constituency. Now, with this 7th Parliament, it is not possible that the 21 days will mature for the new CI, and that is why they are not planning to do that within this Parliament, but rather when Parliament dissolves, next Parliament, at the beginning of it, they will do that. So this is what we are learning from the Electoral Commission. So those within the Guan district or electorates within those areas should know that the Electoral Commission is considering initiating the process at the start of the 8th Parliament.
Parker, thank you very much. Meanwhile, Executive Director of the CDD, Professor H. Kwesi Prempeh, insists the EC must create a constituency before the new Parliament is sworn in. Details shortly. We'll hear from him shortly. But I want to bring in right now the co-chairman of the Joint Steering Committee of the Akpafu and Lolobi Traditional Area, Dr. Joe Adai. Doc, thank you very much for your time here on Newsnight. You just had my colleague there check with the EC. It's apparent now that the processes that the EC needs to kick in to get the constituency created cannot mature fully until after December.